Hello everybody, welcome to another lesson. Today we are going to talk about metric units of weight and mass, and then we're going to do a little bit of conversion between the American and metric system with weights and mass. So let's start here. Of course, I drew out the very similar thing to the other day when we talked about metric units of length. You still have kilo, hecto, deca, the regular units, the deci, centa, and milli. Just like you have kilometers and meters and millimeters and all that, you have kilograms, hectograms, decagrams, grams, decigrams, centigrams, and milligrams, starting from biggest to smallest. So often in the metric system, it's usually grams, milligrams, and kilograms you deal with. And if you're watching from a country that uses the metric system, you can tell me if you use the hectograms or decagrams or decigrams or centigrams often. I mean, to my knowledge, they're not used very often. But I could be wrong because I live in America and we use the American standard system. So forgive my ignorance a little bit, but we're going to do a few conversions. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this since we've already demonstrated how to convert between kilo to regular to milli and so on when we did units of length. It's the same process. So let's say I have 1 kilogram. I want to convert that to grams. 1 kilogram is equal to how many grams? So start with 1.0 kilograms. You need to move the decimal place how many places to get from kilograms to grams? Since you're going to the right, you'll move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So moving it one place will give you 10. Move it another place will give you 100. Move it a third place, that'll give you 1,000. So the answer is it would be 1,000 grams for a kilogram. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. And then let's say, what if you have 1 gram? That's equal to how many milligrams? How many milligrams are in a gram? So you just take, again, your 1.0 for grams. You're going to move it 1, 2, 3 decimal places to the right. So you'll go 1, 2, 3. Just keep adding your zeros till you arrive at 3 decimal places. You would end up getting 1,000 milligrams. So in 1 gram, you have 1,000 milligrams. And I suppose we should do one where we go backwards. Let's say we have 8,730 grams. We want to find out how many kilograms is 8,730 grams. So start out with your 8,730, put the decimal point after the 0. Since you're going to go from grams to kilograms, you got to go 3 decimal places to the left. So you would go 1, 2, 3, which would be equal to 8.730 kilograms, or you can just truncate the 0 since it's an extra placeholder. You would end up having 8.73 kilograms for 8,730 grams. It'd be 8.73 kilograms. So again, it's a lot like doing the length, only we're talking about weight and mass. But it's the same process, same idea when you're converting units in the metric system. Now up here I have 1 metric ton is equal to 1,000 kilograms. We have a metric ton. Yesterday we talked about an American ton, which we're going to compare them in a minute, how they stack up against each other. But let's say I want to find 5 metric tons, how many kilograms does that equal? So we'll start out with the 5 metric tons over some guiding 1. Now we want the metric tons to cancel out. We want to get to kilograms. We can use the fact to put the metric tons in the bottom, that in 1 metric ton there is 1,000 kilograms, right? So now your metric tons will cancel out. You'll just have 5 times 1,000, which will give you 5,000 kilograms. That's how many kilograms it would be in 5 metric tons. Now let's go in reverse here. Let's say I had 16,000 kilograms, right? I want to convert that to metric tons. So I have 16,000 kilograms. I want to convert that to metric tons, denoted by a small t. So again, start with your kilograms, what you're given. So 16,000 kilograms over some guiding 1. Now we want to cancel out kilograms, so in the second ratio, we'll do the fact that there's 1,000 kilograms in 1 metric ton. So now the kilograms will cancel out. You'll just have 16,000, so it would be 16,000 metric tons over 1,000. Well, 16,000 divided by 1,000, that's just going to be 16. So your answer, in 16,000 kilograms, there are 16 metric tons. That is the answer to that. Pretty simple. If you can remember that there's 1,000 kilograms in a metric ton, you're good to go. Now let's convert with the American units a bit. We have up here that 1 kilogram is equal to about 2.2 pounds. So let's say somebody weighs 100 kilograms, because that's the equivalent to pounds in the metric system. Somebody weighs 100 kilograms. Why am I doing that? We want to figure out how many pounds do they equal. How many pounds? So, again, take your 100 kilograms over some guiding 1. Now we want the kilograms to cancel out. So you're going to use the fact that in 1 kilogram, there are 2.2 pounds. Well, now your kilograms will cancel out. You'll just have 100 times 2.2, which turns out would equal 220 pounds. So if someone weighs 100 kilograms, they weigh 220 pounds. Alright. Now, let's see here. Let's say somebody weighs 50 pounds. Yeah, let's say a kid weighs 50 pounds, right? We want to know how many kilograms that is. 50 pounds, how many kilograms? Well, of course, take your 50 pounds over some guiding 1. Now, what we want to do is make sure the pounds cancel out. So in the next ratio, the pounds will have to be on the bottom. We know that there are 2.2 pounds in 1 kilogram. So your pounds cancel out. So you'll have 50 kilograms over 2.2. Now just do 50 divided by 2.2, which that's what I'm about to do here as soon as I can get the calculator open. 50 divided by 2.2, that is approximately equal to 22.7 kilograms. So that's about 22.7 kilograms for someone that weighs 50 pounds. They'd be 22.7 kilograms. All right. Now, let's talk about tons and metric tons. We have 1 metric ton. We want to figure out how many tons does that equal. So the metric ton is denoted by the small t. The American ton is denoted by the capital T. So, of course, start with your 1 metric ton over some guiding 1. Now we're going to have to juggle some units here. What we want to do, of course, is get metric tons on the bottom to cancel that out. We use the fact that in 1 metric ton, there are 1,000 kilograms, right? So now we can cancel out your metric tons. You have kilograms. But we're going to want to get from kilograms to pounds next. So you're going to, of course, make sure your kilograms are on the bottom. Use the fact that in 1 kilogram, there are 2.2 pounds. So now your kilograms cancel out, right? Now we can get from pounds to tons. We can get from pounds to American tons. We want the pounds to cancel out. We can use the fact that in 1 American ton, there are 2,000 pounds. So in 1 American ton, there are 2,000 pounds. So now your pounds cancel out. So then you got to figure out some multiplication here. That's going to equal, over the top, you'll have 1,000 times 2.2. That'd be 2,200 tons over 2,000. Now we just simply got to take 2,200 divided by 2,000. What is 2,200 divided by 2,000? That is equal to 1.1. So that means that 1 metric ton is equal to 1.1 American tons. So a metric ton weighs a little bit more than an American ton. That's exactly how you would convert between them. And really, that's all there is to weight. Just know the simple shortcuts for kilograms to pounds, metric tons to kilograms, and so on. And then being able to move decimal places between all the metric units. So, next lesson's going to be about American units of capacity, such as the gallon, the cup, the pint, the quart, fluid ounces. We'll be doing that for our very next lesson. Hope everyone has a good night. Take care.